on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on.
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but... You sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back. Whew!
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Oh, more.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess... it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but... I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shion. But that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Good friends. Wow,
Even
there's
after
more.
starting
Okay.
here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
Alright. Alright.
When I was still a slave, this is paradise.
It's amazing what good food can do to keep your hopes up. Nagal used to say all the time that the power of food is subtle, yet profound.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? For whatever reason, I find I don't worry nearly as much when I've got a full stomach helping me out.
That's why you shouldn't be such a picky eater.
Huh?
She's right. You always leave food that you don't like on your plate when you're done.
Come on, what's the big deal?
Back in the day, I couldn't think about leaving any food. It was such a waste not to eat at all. You needed every last scrap of energy.
Exactly. Even when my brother and I didn't have much to eat, we all did what we could to make it taste good and enjoy what we had.
That definitely explains a lot about why you cook the way you do, Kisara.
Dohalim, I bet you don't know what any of that's like. You must be used to food being handed to you on a silver platter.
Sometimes it was gold.
You didn't shy away from that at all.
Though, there was one experience that does come to mind.
Oh?
When I first learned that the food I ate originally came from animals and fish, I was rather taken aback.
You just ate whatever was in front of you without even thinking about it?
That's a silver spoon elite for you.
Oh, more. Okay.
Shion, about that fight just now.
Sorry about that. I was careless.
I didn't come to criticize you. Just please take better care of yourself.
You don't need to worry about me. In case you forgot, I can't exactly die anyway. It's like how you used to not care about getting beat up because you couldn't feel pain, and then I was the one to patch you up. It's the same thing.
You're right. That is how I used to be. But this isn't the same.
Then what do you mean? How is what's happening now different from what happened then?
It's different now.
Look, if you mean because you can feel pain again,
It's because I don't want to see you getting hurt. You're right. When I couldn't feel any pain, I put myself in all sorts of dangerous situations. I didn't listen to anybody's warnings, and I made a lot of people worried for no good reason. It was foolish. This isn't about you and me being able to take pain. I don't want to have to see you get hurt, Shion. It's too much for me to take. Is that a crazy thing to say?
No, it isn't. And I definitely don't like seeing you get hurt either, Alphen. We can't expect our enemies to show us any mercy. But I will do my best not to throw myself in harm's way out there either. How does that sound?
I'm sorry if I sounded harsh earlier. I didn't mean to. I just really want you to take better care of yourself.
I will. At least, for as long as I can.
Oh my goodness. I keep finding
Hey,
new
Alphen,
ones.
Why do you like spicy food so much anyway?
You know, I haven't thought about that before. Maybe because when I couldn't feel pain, it gave me that kick I was craving.
But now that you can feel pain again, wouldn't your tastes have changed?
Did you like spicy food when you were younger?
Not as much as I do now. At some point, it just became something almost like an addiction, I guess.
I can most certainly relate. Once you've had your fill of ordinary food, you cannot help but seek out more unusual fare.
I don't think that's got anything to do with Alphen's tastes. Although I won't deny that you definitely have a thing for exotic food. The stranger the better.
I just wish I could have gotten you into sweets like me, Alphen.
I like food that's dense and keeps you feeling full myself. It helps you last longer when you're on the move.
We all know you're a quantity over quality kind of...
What was that?
Nothing. I lost my train of thought.
You know, I've also noticed Shion's not really into the same kind of food most Renans are. Could be it's got something to do with the way she grew up.
That's so me. Even when I was little, I was all about food that gives me strength. All meat, all the time.
And I guess Kisara is so good at cooking fish because she can catch them herself.
I'm only good with fish because it used to be the easiest thing to get. When you work with something long enough, it comes naturally to you.
I like fish just fine. But what I really like about your cooking is how it tastes homemade. It reminds me of what my mom used to make.
Really? You know, I used to cook a lot of meals for younger kids, and they said the same thing.
When you get down to it, I guess the things a person cooks and the foods they like say a lot about the way they've lived.
Okay, finally. Back to the grind.
Gotta have a vitamin smoothie.
Because you've been eating nothing but meat lately. Your body needs vegetables to stay healthy.
Yeah, but does it have to be so concentrated?
It's better that way. Even if you hate vegetables, all you have to do is drink it. It's a quick and easy way to get more nutrients.
Like you're one to talk. You'll have anything as long as it's spicy.
Which that vitamin smoothie isn't. I know its taste leaves a little to be desired, but once you get used to it, it's not so bad.
This sludge isn't gonna make me less hungry.
I don't know. If you downed 10 of them, I bet you'd start feeling pretty full.
Are you trying to turn me into an herbivore or something?
If I were you, Law, I'd drink it down sooner rather than later. It's going to start tasting bitter if you let it get warm.
It's already bitter when it's cold.
Come on, Law. It's good for you. Quit complaining and drink it already.
Oh, people. Okay.
I'm thinking?
Nah. It just occurred to me that our journey's been going for a while now.
Is it a wonder to you our group has held together this long?
Maybe. We've got Danans, Renans, a lord, a mage, and even a guy from another time. Yet here we all are, leaning on each other as travel companions. It's like a minor miracle.
If anything, I'd say it's proof. Proof that as long as we accept each other for who we are, we can all get along.
And with understanding comes togetherness. Yeah, we are more than enough evidence of that.
I've always had a thorny relationship with others. Quite literally, as it happens. I figured that it was easier to give up on intimacy, rather than having to go through all of the pain of rejection. I mean, is it any wonder I grew thorns around my heart, too?
But now...
Right. Now... I still have my thorns, of course. But they don't cover my heart. I know now that there is more than one way for people to relate to one another. It was you and everyone else here that taught me that. Everyone that you brought together, Alphen.
It wasn't just me. I mean, sure, I invited a few folks to join us, but... swordsmanship's about all I have to offer. Everyone's taught and supported me just as much as I have them.
You see? That's what I'm talking about.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're fine just as you are. The bonds that you form with others, they shine more brightly because they're mutual. It's not just one bond for you. It's many, each with a heart of its own. That's what makes them special.
Hey... what? Hey guys, I don't see any of our food anywhere.
What?
I know! The bag we kept it all in has vanished! Some Zoogles must have gotten in behind us and swiped the whole thing while we were fighting.
What? Huh? What are you guys talking about?
This affects you too, you know! We lost all our food, including all those sweets you love so frickin' much!
What? How could this happen? Those sweets are the highlight of my day! Oh, so hungry.
Hunger is like that. The moment you know there's nothing you can do about it, it becomes that much more unbearable.
Whoever did this, I swear I'm gonna make them pay for stealing our supplies.
All that's left now is this one lonesome apple.
Law?
What? Hey, don't look at me like that. I picked this apple myself. I'm not just gonna...
Food. Hand it over.
Stay away! Ah!
Hey, I'm back. Huh? What the heck happened here?
Only a poignant reminder of how dangerous a food shortage can be in a collective. A serious problem indeed. And one we should all be mindful of.
I see. Does it have anything to do with why you're holding our food supply bag behind your back?
Ah!
That turned out good, if I do... Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? I'm surprised to see you up reading so late. What have you got there?
Oh, it's a book about magic. I was hoping I'd reach the end of this chapter before I went to bed.
I'm impressed you can read all that tiny text without drifting off.
It's easy. Honestly, the subject is so interesting, it keeps me wide awake. Although I have to admit, the more I read this book, the more I realize just how much I still have to learn. I hate not knowing it all, so it pushes me to keep learning as much as I can so I can be a real expert.
So that's why you're studying by the campfire every night, huh? You've really changed, Rinwell.
Really? I don't feel like it.
Remember how you used to be when we first met in Calaglia?
Sure, but that's because I was still hiding a lot from you guys. Am I really all that different aside from that?
Definitely. It's the difference between a rock and the sun.
Are you saying I used to be like a rock? That's not something you should use to describe a girl, Alphen.
My bad. But the comparison is still apt. You used to not be open with us about your magic at all. And now look at you.
Well, I guess you may have a point. I used to hate studying magic because my parents made me do it. And after everything that happened, I felt like it brought nothing but trouble. But now, I don't think it's so bad after all. Maybe I really have changed more than I thought. All magic is simply astral energy combined with knowledge. It's neither good nor bad by itself. It all depends on how you use it. Saying it out loud, I guess I finally made peace with it.
I think you have Law to thank for that.
What? Why him?
I mean, he was kind of the one who...
Nope, he's got nothing to do with it. None. Zilch. Nada. Nothing.
If Law heard that, he'd be pretty bummed, you know.
You're crazy. I don't see why he would be.
Are you saying you rather he wouldn't be? I'd say the fact you can get so worked up about things now is another sign you've changed.
Sounds like someone wants me to put on a little magic show.
All right, all right. I'll take my leave before I say anything else that might get me into trouble. Just make sure you aren't staying up too late, okay?
Ugh, I'm not a little kid anymore. Yeesh. Though actually, it felt kinda nice hearing that. I wonder why. I'm starting to feel kind of grateful for these powers of mine now. What do you think this place was for?
Oh wow.
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No, they appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Okay.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danon, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
Alright, boss fight. Let's see if I can win it. If not, I'll, oh, wow.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary zoo. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourselves. All bets are off when it comes to this thing.
I never miss!
You're mine!
Illuminate
Thorn Alpha!
Come forward!
Ready to blazing forward!
I'm just getting started!
Too much! Double Demon Fang! Its head is weak point?
We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
Now or never.
Hey, Kara, here's a healing art!
Let's stay away from my friend!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I hear.
No, that is
I'll
silly.
bring you back from death to this!
Not today!
I'll finish you here and now!
Resuscitation! I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this. Resurrection! Hear me! Flame of purity! Burning strike! Water, hear my call! It looks like you got this one covered. Glacial spear, pierce evil! Freeze lancer!
Eagle assault!
Water, hear my...
No further!
If it's in the sky, it's mine! Carve now! Here! That'll bring you down!
There you go! I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough on our plates.
Yes, ma'am! I'll smash you!
There you go! Glacial spear, pierce evil! Freeze lancer! Radiant sky! Iconic blade!
Now I'm in the
Amount of
groove.
ammo! Mega ray!
Eagle assault!
Shooting star! Chain between the twin.
It's time!
A wailing bandit of show me what my art can do! Shine!
Wind! Burn!
Resurrection! Go
Ignite!
Watch and between! Dance in the wind! Annihilation! By the power of flame! Vanish without trains of heaven! Burst forth!
Take this!
Cyclone! Where are you going? Air thrust!
Now you see what I can do!
Here, let me help!
Tear him up!
First aid!
Drop this!
Glacier Spear! Pierce Evo! Freeze Lancer! Now! Astral Energy!
Say no more.
I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this. A chain between heaven and earth. Resurrection! A wailing banshee of lightning! In here! I'll be saving this
Ignite!
one! Radiant Spear! Tempest Resurrection! I'm all stopped up! Confiscated! Here, let me help! First aid!
We require
The enemy is going all out!
Take this!
Raging Cat Reload! Here's a here! First one in there with the others!
What's this?
In here! Magna Ray!
Attack time! Where are you going?
Let's get you all this way!
Runner!
Hear my call! Red! Here! Flame of Fury! Burning Strike!
Runner!
Hear my call! Red! Here! Don't give up! Burning Strike! I'll bring you back from death to death! Feel resuscitation! Get on in there with the others! Raging Storm! Here's a healing art! First aid!
We require a hand.
Back into
In a bind?
Magna Ray! It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
Glimmer Flash! Explosive ring!
Lightning Orb!
Anything in armor
Go.
is all mine!
Magna Ray!
All mine.
Oh, violent guardian
By the Dinar!
Now through all! Think again!
I don't feel like my usual self.
Are you alright? Let me handle this one.
So sorry to disappoint you.
I'm right behind you.
Where are you going?
Rising water!
Here, let me help.
I hope this medicine works.
Now in the groove!
By the power of water!
In a bind?
Amazing! Not long to go now.
We couldn't have done it without you, Manuel.
Come on, let's you and me get in there and finish this fight. Freeze ready to go!
Nice work!
Far enough! Here! It's lightning! Steering reload! Steering flame! Reload! I'm out of it! Select primed and ready! I never miss!
Inferno fire!
Not
See what happened there as you crossed me.
Lunar
Shouldn't have done
cannon!
that. Take this!
Lightning! Raging cat lightning!
In a bind?
Magna ray! A whirling
Raging
portal!
Fury!
Chisora! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclops!
Wow, I didn't expect to actually kill it.
The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crowned contests. What do you mean? You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dome Room's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say. So, looks like the Helganquil have been engineering Zeugles too. Why doesn't that surprise me at this point?
The creatures we've been encountering here have been a little different to what we're used to fighting, but I'm pretty sure they're Zeugles too.
Do you think they were engineered using creatures native to the area?
Indeed. However, based on the current circumstances, I would guess these Zeugles are all that's left of the planet's fauna now.
You mean, there might have been native owl species here once upon a time too?
that this area would have a teleporter.
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are, at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then.
Alright, that's good news. First, I'm actually gonna check something. That's good news. That means there might be more quests. Nope. Okay. But what level am I? 51. I'm actually going to try some stuff. I will be right back.
They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's Great Spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renis Alma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
So here's a question. We came all this way to Rena on the assumption the Renis Alma's here, right?
Don't say it, Law.
Yeah, but I'm just saying...
I said don't.
I can understand why you might be concerned, Law. But you need to remember that there are people it affects more directly than you.
Oh, sorry.
We've managed to make it this far believing. Losing faith now won't do us any good. We're better off focusing our anxiety elsewhere.
Such as?
The Great Spirit. If Hevrecht 35's to be believed, our enemy won't just be handing over the Renis Alma to us. At least, not without a fight.
Not only that, but that same enemy just gulped down more than an entire world's worth of astral energy.
Point taken. It may be strange to say, but when I'm fighting, or at least know what needs to be done, it helps me a lot. I don't doubt myself as much. So thanks, both of you. The floor's on the ceiling and the ceiling's on the floor. This whole thing's making my head spin. Why would they even do something like this?
The Helganquil can bend life forms to suit their will. Nothing they could do at this point would surprise me.
The ceiling is on the floor. That doesn't weird you out?
What good is a team made up of members who all share the same opinions on everything? And besides, when you get to be at my ripe old age, one begins to consider it quite uncouth to show one's true emotions at times.
Oh, come on, Grandpa. You can't be that old.
The sands of time wait for none of us, lad.
Yeah, we'll see. Though at this rate, I guess I'll have to live long enough to get as old as you first, huh?
You will. And when the time comes, I look forward to hearing you change your tune on the matter.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.